Beautiful ladies and gentlemen, how are you? My name is Ololi Godwin, and that is for newbies on this channel. This is Economics. Of course, you've seen the icon, and you know this is Economics. Anyway, alright, in this video, we're talking about the economic applications of integration. Let me say some economic applications of integration in mathematical economics or in economics basically. Now, these are things that are supported by theory, economic theory, and whatever we are getting in this kind of classes must be, there will be making use of economic theory to support them, or they must follow economic theory. Now, in the previous video, we've done, I think we've covered 3 other classes on integration right now. The first being introduction to integration basically, and the other being using the how to use substitution, how to do integration by substitution. The third being how to do integration by what is it called? Would you try to remind me right now? By parts. All right, and this is talking about economic application of integration. And we are going to be having 2 other classes, at least for now, on integration. That's the first is going to be, in definite integral, when we're talking about limits. All right, how to solve stuff with limits, and what is the use of something like that in economics. And the last video is going to be talking about consumer surplus and producer surplus. So we'll be needing video 4 or video 5 kind of. And there is a playlist, just as we do have playlists for our classes. So there is a playlist on integration. All right, so there's a playlist on calculus basically. So you have differentiation, then all through partial differentiation, everything like that, till you get to integration. I'm going to try to separate the playlist. So one will be for differentiation, another one will be for integration. Then you have a kind of separate playlist for all calculus classes. So now we have 3 questions on the board. Marginal revenue is given as MR equals 60 minus 2Q, then minus 2Q squared. So we have to find the demand function. That's the question. Now 2, given MC as 16E raised to power 0.4Q, and FC is 100. So find TC and AVC. All right. Then number 3 is if C, that is consumption, is a function of income. Now this is talking about macroeconomics already. So for those that have started doing macroeconomics before seeing this video, so if consumption is a function of income, and MPC, which is the marginal propensity to consume, that measures the amount of additional income that is spent on consumption, that is the slope of the consumption function, the C, the Y. Alright, the change in C divided by the change in Y. And autonomous consumption equals 40. Now, for those that don't know, I have studied macroeconomics yet. Autonomous consumption simply means what consumers consume when their income is 0. So should we dwell a lot on that? Now, a lot of you are watching these videos right now. You might be in senior secondary school, you might be in high school, you might be in maybe your first day in college, at college or something like that. So if you are not working, economics doesn't really see you as an income earner, although you could be having transfer payments and what have you. But when economists start talking about autonomous consumption, that is, you've not started earning, basically you've not started working, you don't have something that is really giving you what you could call your own kind of income. So whatever you are consuming at that state is what is called autonomous consumption. Okay, and that is done by saving, by borrowing. So those are just the stuff that economics assumes to make stuff easier. Alright, so most of you right now are probably dwelling on autonomous consumption. Anyway, so autonomous consumption is the consumption that occurs, when income is still 0. Now, the question now says that we should find the consumption function. Before going straight into this video, I would say something that I said in the previous video, and I've been trying to say right now, that please watch hours counts on YouTube. We are putting out these classes for you out of our own passion, and they are basically free. The data you are using doesn't come to us, maybe Wi-Fi or your normal data doesn't come to us, but we need you to help us to do something. Please watch online, because it's going to be hurting us if you don't watch online. Let me tell you the implication. The implication is that when a video is about, let's say, 30 minutes long or 20 minutes long, and people are downloading the videos, not watching the videos, and it takes you, let's say it takes you 1 minute to download, so you watch 1 minute class, right? After, before downloading, and you then go and watch the downloaded class. What happens is that YouTube has an algorithm, what you call an algorithm, that thinks that the video is a bad video, all right, and hence we will not recommend the video to other people. Now this is what I mean. Why would a video be 20 minutes long and people are just watching for 1 minute? So it simply means the video has no sense in it, and it's going to be bad for YouTube to recommend it to other videos. You know, all of these things they do with softwares, application, and different things. It's not as if it's somebody that is trying to like do things manually. So that's why we are begging you people that don't let YouTube think our videos are bad videos. Of course, if they are bad videos, you won't be coming to watch them. You understand? So that is what we need from you. Please watch till the end. Yeah, you can download, but at least watch till the end. So thank you very much for that. I know you guys love us so much, and we want more of our classes online. You know, because if you don't watch and you keep downloading, you know, we won't be able to make any other class for you, and it's not going to be very good for us. Right, so thank you for the love once again. Please help us do that. Thank you. Now let's get back to the next word. So marginal revenue is given us. So let's just write MR equals 60 minus 2Q minus 2Q squared. So basically, how did we get MR? MR is change in total revenue, right? Divided by change in Q. So for us to get which is basically saying MR equals D TR, right? The Q, right? So for us to get TR again, so TR is going to be M integral, differentiation surface from here, so it becomes integral M. So something like you must cross multiplication MR dq, MR dq. So that's it, right? That's it. So TR now is going to be where we'll be integrating this guy. MR is 60 minus 2Q minus 2Q squared, right? Everything the Q. So TR is then going to be, by the time we integrate this becomes, if you want to like simplify stuff, it is integral 60 minus integral 2Q minus integral 2Q squared. Take integral 60 dq integral minus 2Q dq minus integral 2Q squared dq. This is not necessary basically, but no problem. Your lecturer might want to see it. So by the time we integrate this, 60 is same as, in terms of Q, 60 is same as 60 Q raised to 0, right? So Q raised to 0 is 1, and multiplied by 60, that gives us 60. So that's, now we'll be having 60 Q raised to 0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1, right? And we're having minus 2 Q raised to 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1, then minus 2 Q raised to 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1, then plus the constant 10. Alright, so from there we'll be having 60Q, so TR function will be 60Q, then minus 2Q squared divided by 2, yeah, yes, then minus 2Q raised by 3 divided by 3, okay, then plus the constant 10. Alright, so 2 cancels 2, so TR then becomes 60Q minus Q squared, then minus 2 over 3 Q raised to 3 plus C. So was there additional information in the, okay, there's not additional information, so this is what we have for the total revenue function. Now let us try to check. When Q is 0, for example, is the consumer going to be having any is the consumer going to be, is the producer going to be having any kind of revenue when Q is 0? Because the value of the constant term, once you get the value of the constant term, you just have to like equate the whole thing to 0. Yeah, that's once you get the value of the constant, like this constant. So just say when Q is 0, so what's the value of C going to be? So economically, when Q is 0, when the producer isn't producing anything, we don't expect any total revenue at all. Right? So when Q is 0, when Q equals 0, so we expect that total revenue as well is going to be 0. So if total revenue is 0, then the constant term is actually 0. So total revenue function now is basically going to be 60Q minus Q squared and minus 2 over 3 Q raised to 3. So that's it. So when Q is 0, total revenue is going to be 0 in terms of economics. So it's more or less just saying 0 equals, that is total revenue equals 0 equals, 60Q is going to be 60 into bracket 0 minus Q minus 0 squared minus 2 over 3 minus this 2 over 3 0 raised to power 3, right? Then plus c. So 0 equals 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus c, so c equals 0. And then total revenue function is just given as this. So that's the economic theory that I said would answer what we are trying to do. Now, question 2 says, given the marginal cost function as this and the fixed cost as 100, so find the TC and ABC functions. So let me just say functions. Now the question will just come and say find the TC and ABC. That's all. Now the same thing, MC, right, is equal to the TC, the Q. No, it's not essential for you to write this. Just kind of cross multiply. So the TC equals MC the Q. Alright, TC then equals integral MC the Q. Alright, so what we then have is total cost function is going to be integration of MC. What were we given as MC? MC was 16e raised to 0.4 u then the Q. Right, and this is now going to give us, it's kind of 16 integral e raised to 0.4. You have the Q here, then the Q. So that is now going to be 16 into brackets equals 16 into brackets e raised to 0.4 Q. Now divided by 0.4 is what is beside Q. No, we are doing with respect to Q now because divided by 0.4 then plus a constant term. Now this is going to be 16 divided by 0.4 is going to give us 16 divided by 4 is 4, right? Then 16 divided by 0.4 is 40. So we are having 40 into brackets e raised to 0.4 Q then plus the constant term. So we kind of have CC function equals 40 into bracket 40 e 0.4 and you have this Q plus C. Now recall that from economic theory, okay, recall that TC equals what? Variable cost plus what? Fixed cost. Alright. So and how do we get our fixed cost? When Q is 0, we get our fixed cost, right? So I believe you remember that when quantity is 0, your total cost is equal to your fixed cost. Okay, obviously. So when Q equals 0, TC equals to FC. Alright, so when Q equals 0, TC equals to FC. So when Q is 0, so what you'll be having here, alright, so what you'll be having TC equals 40, 40, you'll be having 40E raised by 0.40 plus C. But we already said when Q is 0, like TC is equal to FC, right? So this TC then becomes 100. Now because we are given from the function that FC is 100. Okay, so we're having 100. That this TC is equal to FC, right? Equals 40 e raised by 0.4 times 0 is 0, right? Plus C, and then we're having 100 equals 40 e raised by 0 is 1, then plus C. Alright, then C now equals 100 minus 40 and equals 60. So C is 40. So for you to rewrite the total cost function is going to be equal to, C is 60, this constant term is 60, so it's going to be equal to 40 e raised by 0.4 Q, then right, so we'll be having 40 e raised by 0.4 Q plus 60. Right, so by the time you have this kind of total cost function, don't be carried away and then say that quantity is, that your variable cost is 40 e raised by this and 60 is your fixed cost. No, that's not what you should do. Alright, that's not what you should do. So this is what you basically, so it's kind of a tricky question. So someone could give you, a lecturer could give you this, and I could actually set that in our students' exams and just give them something like this and ask them to find the fixed cost. Of course, option A is going to be 60, and that's what a lot of people go for, but that is not the case now, because you just have to equate Q to 0 for you to get what the fixed cost actually is. Okay, now we were asked to look for the ABC function. Now what is ABC? Now ABC is, okay, let me try to rub off this part. Okay, let me rub off this part. So ABC is basically variable costs divided by Q. Now, so how do we get our variable cost from this total cost function? So the total, a fixed cost at the end of the day is 100. Okay, the variable cost is TC equals FC plus VC plus FC, right? So our variable cost is going to be equal to TC minus FC, and we're given FC to be 100, right? So VC is going to be equal to the total cost function, which is 40 E raised to 0.4 Q plus 60, right? Then this is the total cost function, right? Then minus fixed cost that was given in the question, minus 100. I like this question, it's a very, very interesting question. So VC is going to be equal to 40 E 0.4 Q plus 60 minus 100 is going to give us minus what do you call it now? Minus 40. Okay, good. So this is going to be the variable cost function. Alright, yeah, this is an interesting question. Then you could actually look for the average variable cost function, average fixed cost function, and whatever. Alright, now the third question says, I think we are done with that. TC and EB. Okay, we are asking for the average variable cost. Now, average variable cost, AVC is equal to VC divided by Q. So that will be 40 E raised to 0.4 Q divided by Q, right? Then minus 40 divided by Q. So leave it out. Now the last question, if C is a function of y, NBC is, so I said that NBC is basically change in C over change in y. Alright, so what we are looking for, we are looking for the total cost, the consumption function, so that which is so change in C is going to be equal to MPC, change in y, and then C itself is going to be equal to integral MPC with respect to y dy. Let me just write dy. So this is the same thing as delta y dy. I think I prefer writing something like this. Alright, so C now is going to be integral. We have MPC to be 0.6 Q, 0.65 dy, right? So C, okay, this is now going to be equal to 0.65 is the same thing, and because we are integrating with respect to y, that will be 0.65 y0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1, then plus C, which is equal to 0.65 y. Alright, then plus C. We're given additional information. Okay, so this is the consumption function. So consumption function C equals 0.65 y plus C. Now plus the constant term, plus. So this consumption function is what we call, this part is what we call the induced consumption. That is consumption with respect to income. Now you see there's a y here. So if y is this value, what is C? If y increases, what is C? But there's a part of income that I mentioned earlier, which I call the autonomous consumption, which is simply the consumption that you have when income is zero. So when y, we are trying to get this constant term now. So when y equals 0, right, we expect that C will be equal to the autonomous consumption that was given here, 40. Okay, C equals 40. So what's going to happen here is we'll be having C equals 40 equals 0.650 plus C. Okay, so from here C equals 40. Is that it? Okay, 0.65 times C. So C equals 40. So the total consumption function now. So C is then going to be 0.65y plus 40. So that's about that. So that's how to write. So we've gotten the consumption function. I just hope there is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. So that is it. So this is representing the induced consumption, and this is representing the autonomous consumption. You don't need all this stress though. If it's a macroeconomics question, you don't basically need this, because we know from there that C equals A plus BY. Those of us that are watching this video, they actually know, you understand. So A is autonomous consumption, and it was given from the question to be 40. This B is the MPC, it was given as 0.65. Then you have your Y remaining, which is same as what you have here. But because we are trying to use integration to get out of this thing, so let's take it. I have your assignment on the board already. So capital stock when time T, okay, equals 1 is given as 620. Given the rate of net investment as I equals 140 T raised per 3 over 5, find the capital function. Find the stock of capital function. That's just the question. Then number 2, given marginal cost as minus 90Q squared plus 250 plus 300Q, fixed cost equals 550. Find TC, ABC, ATC, and AFC functions here. Now number 3, if consumption is a function of income and MPC equals 0.67 plus 0.4 divided by cube root of y being income. Now autonomous consumption is given as 450. Find the consumption function. Alright, if you can leave your answers, please leave them in the comment section. Let us verify if what you've gotten is right or not. So thank you very much for this video, for attending this class. Really, I should be thanking you for the video. Yeah, thank you very much for attending this class. In the next class, we'll be talking about definite integral. So when we'll be talking about limits, and it's very simple though. So we're talking about limits, upper limits, lower limits, and so on and so forth. See you there. But please make sure that you click on that like button, like this video, please subscribe. If you are a newcomer, subscribe. We have lots and lots to give you. We have a lot of things to offer you. Right? Please subscribe. Then share on your social media platform, share on your WhatsApp groups, share on your WhatsApp status, share among your school groups too. I believe you have WhatsApp group, Facebook group, on Instagram platform, and everything like that. Please keep sharing, and let a lot of people pray for you. Let a lot of people be happy, be grateful to you that you shared this kind of platform with them. See you in the next video. Bye.